This is to demonstrate how to have your text read out loud to you using something in Microsoft Office applications called Immersive Reader. Now, Immersive Reader isn't available in all the Microsoft Office applications at the moment. Some of them it's only available on the online versions. Some of them it's also available on the desktop versions. So we'll be demonstrating those. With some of them where it's not available on the desktop versions, there's other software available called Read Aloud, and that will be a separate video where we can demonstrate how that use. And there's also something called Speak that you can use in some applications like PowerPoint where Read Aloud's not available. If you're trying to have a document read aloud that's a PDF, that's going to be something that you'd need to do through Adobe Acrobat Reader, and there's a separate option on there called Read Out Loud, and there's a video about that if you'd like to look for it. So some of you may be familiar with using some of the software that we make available using things called My Study Bar. The software in particular, there's one called Balabolka, or there's one called AT Bar. And those, if you have them available, are very useful, and these will run alongside those if those particular applications are not available. If you use an Apple Mac, then you should find that that's already embedded in the software and the operating system, and that you can get through accessing your settings and looking for accessibility. And you'll find similar kind of applications there to allow you to turn text to speech. So this is just going to demonstrate how to use the Immersive Reader part of the Office suite to read information out loud to you. Immersive Reader has an awful lot of other things that it can be used to do as well, but again, that's a separate video where we'll run through the different features of Immersive Reader. So let's just look where it is in the different applications. So we'll quickly run through those before we have a look at Immersive Reader itself. Online, first of all. So you'll find that the Office applications will generally tend to have two different versions. You might be running one online, you might be running it through the desktop. If you click on an icon on the computer screen or at the bottom of the computer screen, or you run it through the Start button, then that generally tends to be the software that's available, embedded, installed on the machine. If you go through a web browser like Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, then you will probably be using the web-based versions. So first of all, the web-based versions. So we've got Word here. Now you would access Immersive Reader using the Word Online version using the View button there. So if you click on that bar, that will then give you the settings here, and that's where Immersive Reader is. So you can click on that. If you're using email, Outlook, for example, and you're using the web-based version, then you can find that by clicking on the buttons. So you can have a look at clicking on the ellipsis, as it's called, or the three little dots. If you click on that, then that will then bring up, if we do that, that will then bring up this settings here. And then if you go into View, and in View, Showing Immersive Reader. Clicking on Showing of Immersive Reader will then bring the email up, whichever the email it's from, will then bring that up in the Immersive Reader settings. So if we quickly just do that, and there it is in Immersive Reader. And then we can click on the arrow to take it back out again. If you're using OneNote Online, then OneNote Online, you can access that by clicking on the View button, and within the View button again, you can click on Immersive Reader. That will bring the same setting up. And if you're using Microsoft Teams and you want to have a message through chat or a post or an assignment read out loud to you, then what you'll do is you will find the message or whatever it is, click on again that ellipsis, those three little dots for more options, and then click on Immersive Reader, and that will then bring up the Immersive Reader. If you're using the desktop versions, then if you click on Word, then in Word, this is the desktop version now, not the web-based version, the View bar will give you Immersive Reader. So if you click on that, that will load Immersive Reader up. And if you're using the OneNote, again, if you're in View, then View again will give you Immersive Reader. It's also available on the Teams desktop version, which it runs exactly the same way as the online version does for Teams. So you can find that in exactly the same way. So let's have a look at it using the web-based version, and let's have a look at the Word. So if you click on, again, like I've said, View, Immersive Reader, and then you click on the button, that will then bring up what's called the Immersive Reader. Now, as you'll notice with Immersive Reader, it gets rid of all the space to the left and right of the document that it would normally be when you see it in the usual way it looks on the screen, and then you have these buttons. You have various buttons at the top, which will come through on the video about the Immersive Reader, but as far as we're concerned here, we want these buttons here at the bottom. So it's nice and simple. If you want that information read out loud to you, your document read out loud, then click on play.
Video provides a powerful way to help you prove your point. When you click online video, you can paste in the embed code for the video you...
So if you want to pause it for a moment or stop it, then you just click the same button again. You'll notice as it's reading, it's highlighting the individual words and the rest of it is grayed out.
Want to add. You can also
and it just makes bold that one line that it's reading out loud to you. You'll find here the little cog and the speaker, that's the voice settings. Limited range of voice settings. You can choose a male voice or a female voice. There's the male voice.
Type a keyword to search online for the video that best fits your document.
So it's whichever you think best suits you, and you can speed up the voice or slow it down. So you've got the tortoise for being slow, the hare for being quicker, and you can see how much faster than it would normally be. So 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 2 and 2, 2 1/4, and so on. So let's take that back down to 1 again. And there we are. And then you click on play.
Make your document look professional.
So Immersive Reader, as I've said, has other things as well. So you can start combining some of the things that we'll demonstrate when we get to the other video about Immersive Reader. So under text preferences, for example, if you've seen the other video that's already available about how to change the background color of the screen, you can then click on the double A's, which will give you the text settings, more colors, and you can then have that theme, for example, or a blue. And you can then combine the two and have the information read out loud to you and have the background color.
Professionally produced, Word provides header, footer, cover page, and...
So that's a quick way of demonstrating how Immersive Reader works. Just as it's working in Word, it will work exactly the same in the other documents as well. I hope that's useful to you. Please give it a try, and good luck.